Senator Mitt Romney has a tie to the Ukrainian gas company that hired Hunter Biden. Yes, that Hunter Biden, that Mitt Romney. And one of Romney's former advisors now sits on Burisma's board of directors. Joseph Cofer Black on Romney's National Security Advisory team during his miserable 2012 presidential experience. Black joined Burisma in February of 2017, 6 months after Hunter Biden left the company. The Department of Justice now says U.S. Attorney John Durham is investigating whether Ukraine was involved in any 2016 election interference. Durham apparently has not contacted Ukraine's government yet, but his legal team has received volunteered information from people outside the government, and that apparently took some considerable effort, including efforts on part of the president's attorney, Rudy Giuliani. Joining me now, Sidney Powell, former federal prosecutor, best-selling author, attorney for former National Security Advisor, General Michael Flynn. And Sid, great to have you here.
Thank you, Lou. It's always good to be with you.
This town right now is aggravating me just a little bit.
Imagine why.
Watching this intelligence committee, watching the deep state at work, frustrating a president who intends to do great things, who's already historic, and being obstructed at every turn. By the way, he's overcoming those obstructions to achieve it at an unprecedented rate. But what could we do if this president were unfettered by the demons of the left?
We could really accomplish untold wonders were that the case. But you know, intelligence committee these days is an oxymoron.
Well, it is that, but they are, if not intelligent, they are certainly determined, and that is to obstruct and to frustrate this president, and to even suggest impeachment. It's to say to everyone in this country, the Democrats obviously think most people in this country are damn fools to try to run these games, to pretend that this rises to the level of impeachment. And the ignorance of putting in CIA officers in the White House to, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, as William Barr would put it, by God, that sounds like spying to me.
It does.
It sounds like espionage. So where are we headed here? This is a circus of the absurd.
Well, I think what it really means is that the president and Mr. Barr and Mr. Durham must be getting very close over the target, or there wouldn't be this kind of stuff flying.
Well, we've been over this. They may be over the target now, but my God, this has been going on and on and on. The President of the United States has been under investigation for 3 years, and the American people are swallowing that, just biting their lips and going ahead and saying, you know, that's business as usual, because it has become usual. It's become the norm. General Flynn sits in jail.
No, he's not in prison.
Well, excuse me, I shouldn't say that. Faces jail and is looking at the prospect of of exculpation, and where do we stand in that process?
Well, Judge Sullivan has set a briefing schedule for us. My next brief is due the 22nd. The government's brief is due Tuesday. And then there's going to be a hearing on November 7th, which should be very interesting because the government has been hiding for more than 2 years evidence that clears him of charges.
No, you don't tell me the government would do that?
Yes. In fact, they did it even before he left the White House. There was a memo dated January 30th exonerating him of being an agent of Russia, and they had cleared him of the Logan Act issue, which they knew was preposterous to begin with, and they had cleared him of lying to the FBI agents, so there was no reason for him to have left the White House.
Unbelievable.
But they didn't tell the president that.
Well, of course not.
No.
November 7th, how many reasons do you have that would be exculpatory for General Flynn?
There were 40 different categories of evidence that I've asked for that I will be briefing in full. And the hearing should be very interesting since Judge Sullivan is the one who threw out the conviction of Ted Stevens and then turned the investigation on the Department of Justice for hiding evidence.
Very good. Sidney Powell, always good to see you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Lou.
and much luck.